tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened Buddha. Dear friends in Dhamma, today I am going to ask you a question. Where is the happiness? We always, as human beings, and also all the other beings in this earth and in this universe, they are look forward to be happy. No one wants to be sad, miserable, or unhappy. So where is happiness? From the moment you wake up in the morning until you go to bed in the night, you are searching, continuously searching the happiness. Is it within you or is it outside? So, dear friends, happiness is a state of mind. This state of mind is created through external motivations, external information, and sometimes you can create happiness without external conditions, external things, in order to be happy. So happiness, you need to create it by yourself. It's a choice. And if you don't make this right choice, you can be very unhappy, because there are people, there are many reasons, they find many reasons to be unhappy. Some people live on unhappiness as it is their food. They like to be unhappy. But as all human beings, we must strive to be happy in righteously, in a correct manner. So don't give your source of happiness to other people. I mean, don't outsource your happiness to other people. Because if you give this remote control to other people, empower other people to make you happy, that is, there you are not in charge of the happiness. So Buddha said, Arogya Paramalabha, Santutti Paramandanang, Viswasa Paramanyati, Nibbhanang Paranamang Dhanang. This verse in Dhammapada that define certain basic happinesses we can build up, we can develop in our life. Dear friends, it is very important for us to lead a life that can enhance happiness within ourselves and also happiness within others. So, this creation of happiness can be started within oneself. One thing we need to understand is that our body, our qualifications, our wealth, all these things has no perfection. We always try to find a perfect life, something which is very elegant, very nice. So when you in trying to pursue this perfection, it is some impossible task, because there is nothing in this whole world, in this whole universe, you can find something perfect. So, in order to be happy, we need to understand, we need to accept and realize that we can accept these imperfections within ourselves, and also the imperfections we can see in the society, the people we are dealing with, the goods we are using. In everywhere there is this kind of imperfection. Then Buddha explained that for the monks there are 4 requisites: food, shelter, medicine and clothes. So Buddha's teachings is for the eradication of suffering and development or the enhancement of happiness. This is the purpose of Buddha's teaching. So when you want to enhance your happiness, Buddha start with the food. In that stanza, Buddha described why we are taking food. Buddha explained, Pasu Viharaya, to lead your life in a comfortable way, to ease off the discomforts without having food. And also, you must remember that you are not going to create another new pain by taking food. For example, if you are indulgent in food, if you are taking too much food, that might cause many sicknesses. Buddha admonished that we need to, if you can, take 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day. But our normal way of life is to take 3 meals a day. When you take 3 meals a day, you are increasing a lot of intakes of food which can have additional nutrients which will be converted into oil or fat, and it can create high blood pressure, high sugar, cholesterol and so many other things. At least Buddhists, we can practice every 1 week, 1 day. If you can if you can avoid taking 1 dinner or 1 lunch or 1 meal, that way you can reduce this kind of overeating and reduce this kind of many sicknesses. Because the fasting in Buddhism is highly appreciated, for venerable monks has to take only 2 meals or 1 meal a day. And we try to equate happiness with certain things. Some people think if they have so much money, they get rich, they will be happy. If they get a good car, nice car, BMW or Mercedes-Benz or Jaguar, they think, okay, I can be very happy. Or if I get a big house or big apartment. So these things are necessary. We need a car, we need a house, we need some good clothes. There's no doubt. But friends, if you think that these things give you happiness, it's a wrong understanding, a misconception, misunderstanding. Because these things has utilitarian value. Okay, money can buy many things, medicine, food, fancy things, new gadgets. There's no doubt about that. But do not equate your happiness to your wealth or to the money, the amount of cash you are owning. Definitely it will help you to ease off your burdens, ease off your difficulties, can make you comfortable in a certain way. But it is not the ultimatum. It is not the destination of your life. And also, we are postponing happiness in order to future. Okay, if I get past this examination, if I get this job, this house, I will be happy. But Buddha taught happiness here and now, because happiness is not something you are postponing for the future. You have to experience it moment by moment. That's why in Buddhism it is very important for us to live in the present moment, because most of the people live in the either in the past, their history, all the past events, they go backward or go forward in their mind to find happiness. So actually the happiness must be here and now, the present moment. So it is very important to develop mindfulness so that you are not astray, you are not just lost in your future or in the past. So there are many, we need to close many doors of unhappiness. If you can close these doors of unhappiness, if you can keep the doors of happiness open. So there are many people think that when they have so many things, they become very arrogant, they become very proud, and they think, okay, their egoism will go up, and they think they should be treated me like this, they should be treated me like that. So they expect other people to treat you, respect you, and look after you in a queenly way or king's way, like a royal treatment. But arrogance is a source of unhappiness. If you become so arrogant, that will destroy your happiness. So Buddha says, anatimani, to develop humbleness, to develop the worldly, having understood this worldly situation, that everything is changing, we need to get rid of our arrogance. Arrogance is a source of unhappiness. Then there's one story, it's a really fascinating story. In order to be happy, we need a very wide heart, very big heart. There was one story about 2000 years ago. One lady came out of her home in the evening just in order to go to the market to buy some vegetables. And there were some weary travelers just in front of her home. Because those days people walk a long distance, this lady imagined and understood that these three guys haven't eaten for some time, quite some time, and they are very tired. I should invite them to my home and treat them some warm tea or some milk or some food. So she went to them and asked them, why are you here? And do you like if I invite you to have some refreshment at her home? The three men asked, who is there in your home? The lady said, only me and my daughter-in-law, my husband has gone out. Then the three guys said, I cannot come in because only two ladies inside. By the time they were discussing this, her husband came, and these three gentlemen introduced themselves as their names. One person called, I am the success, other person called, I am the love, the third person called, I am the wealth. So then they have one condition. If they want to treat three of them, they can invite one person at a time. And the husband and wife went to home and discussed with their daughter-in-law, what should we do? Should we invite the success first, Mr. Success, or should we invite Mr. Love, or should we invite Mr. Wealth? So they had some quite a little argument, and finally daughter-in-law suggests, let's invite love to the house, Mr. Love to the house. Then our house will be filled with love. Then after this discussion, they went back to the near the gate and told these three gentlemen, okay, we decided to invite Mr. Love first, then the other two persons thereafter. Then when the Mr. Love was invited to have dinner at home, all three persons, success and the wealth, all began to follow him. Then the landlord and the lady asked, you first told me you will come one at a time, not all together. Now you are all coming. Then the Mr. Love explained, if you invited wealth, it will come alone and we will wait outside. If you invite the wealth or the success will come to your home and the other two will remain outside. Since you have invited Love, Mr. Love, all three are coming behind Mr. Love. So in order to have success in our life, we need to have the love. But we normally think in a very narrow way of love. But in Buddhist way of love is the universal love, unconditional love towards all human beings, towards all the other beings, and all to the environment, to the things we are using. So this is kind of a very vast concept in Buddhist way of love. So we need to have this kind of attitude towards life in order to be happy. If you are very selfish, if you are thinking about only yourself and very egoistic, that close the doors of happiness. So in order to be happy, you need to have a very wide sense of love toward the whole universe, toward the all beings. Then I can remember that the Harvard University has started a very long journey of research in 1932. This research was done in order to find what will make the human life more happier. So they had about 1,000 participants, and some of them were died during the Second World War. But out of these 1,000 people, nearly as 800 people survived. Some of them still survive. This is the longest study, took about 70 years of study. So they study their way of life, the food habits, their sports and whatever they do, activities, their jobs. So they were constantly interviewed and researched, and their opinions were taken into consideration in this study. And many directors of studies in the Harvard University attended and participated. This is the longest ever human study about happiness. So they found out two reasons for human beings to be happy. Some people think the wealth can make you happy. Some people think if you become famous, you will be happy. But surprisingly, the Harvard University found out that in order to have a happier and better life, quality life, the relationships, the more understandable, cooperative relationships, the reliable relationships make people more happier. As we get older, as we get matured, people think they need a good companion. So in order to have a happier life, good relationship with maybe husband and wife, maybe good friends or good colleagues. It doesn't need to be family relationship, but a relationship with a very kind-hearted understanding and sharing and caring. This kind of relationships are very important in order to be happy. And another thing, in modern psychology, they say that in order to be happy, we need to have a very good association, because loneliness is very dangerous for human life, because loneliness kills the people, because there is no expectation for their life. The life become more dry and very frustrating. So it is very important that we are not feel lonely, because in Western world, even in Sri Lanka, many people feel very lonely. Even within the family life, within the marriage life, there may be loneliness. So we need to address this thing in order to be happy. Then we must also focus the good positive sides of the life, positive qualities of the life. We must avoid negative side of the life and negative qualities of the life. Let me explain this with a very tiny simile. You know, bee. Bee is the most busiest and hard-working insect in the universe. It is pollinating so many flowers, giving us a lot of fruits and a lot of things to the world. At the same time, if you look at the bee's focus, it's very interesting. Bee always fly from many miles, many kilometers, in order to find the sweet, fragrant nectar. In order to get sweet, fragrant nectar, it flies from faraway places. But he never, on his journey to find nectar, he never focused on garbage, dirty, stinky and filthy things. He only looked at very beautiful flowers. He never looked at rotten flowers. He only looked at good things and get the very sweet, fine nectar from the very beautiful flowers. So if your life, if you are focusing only your defeats, your fall downs or your shortcomings, or if your difficulties in your life, your challenges in your life, if you are looking at it in a negative way, it won't help you to overcome your problems. So please look at your life in a positive way, and also act and determine to overcome whatever the difficulties, whatever the hurdles, whatever the problems in your life with a positive attitude. That will make you to go to your goal, reach your goal in a very beautiful way, to have a beautiful life. Another very important quality we need to develop in order to be happy, we need to have a gratitude. Acknowledge all the good things in your life, you know. It is very easy for us to forget things we are having in your life. We always complain, we always think, I don't have this, I cannot have this, I have this shortcoming. But in order to be happy, you must have a grateful for many things in your life. If you consider this world now, it's in a state of calamity with the coronavirus, and many people's lives disturbed and many incomes were lost and many problems are facing. So if you have something to eat, if you have some water to drink, if you have a bed to sleep, a roof to cover your house, and if you have some money, you must be grateful. And also you must be grateful to people who are making your life more easier, convenient and comfortable. So this great sense of gratitude is very important aspect of to lead a happy life. Buddha taught us the very first lesson under the Bodhi tree by paying respect to the Bodhi tree, by gazing at the Bodhi tree, that even inanimate thing like Bodhi tree has given him shade, the protection, the kind of warmth under this tree in order to become enlightened. So he was grateful and appreciate that gratitude. So you must be very grateful for everything in your life, your eyesight, your knowledge, your food, your people who are making food for you, and people making the roads, so we can use very comfortably. And in Japanese people, they have a sense of gratitude, and when they are eating the food, they say special prayer or thanks. Those who are engaged in this food chain, the farmers, the vendors and the traders, those who transporters, many people engage in this source of things, and they say thanks to them for making their this meal, very beautiful and very tasty meal. So in that way, the people were able to appreciate the things they are enjoying, because if you take things into granted, that will not make you happy. Then in order to have a happier life, you need to have celebrate little victories. Don't wait to until you pass the exam, don't wait until you get the job, but on the way there are little milestones. You must celebrate it and enjoy them and be happy. And another important aspect, in order to be happy, we must practice sila. Sometimes we think the rules and the precepts are not so important, but actually they are the foundation of our life. If you want to a happier life, we have to control our senses. If you don't control our senses and our words and action, we will be in jail, we will be in big problem, we will be in difficulties. So it is very important for us to have a very virtuous life. So practicing sila is very important aspect of in this life. And also, if you look at the river or if you look at the trees, you can see that the trees branches are crooked. The rivers don't flow a straight line, they go through stones and through bends and many kinds of difficulties, hurdles, but that will make the river journey very beautiful, very nice and very fascinating. Similarly, if you look at the our imperfections, the crookedness, and if you can embrace these things, you can be very happy. And also you must engage in art, dance, music, things like that, so that your mind will not be wandering here and there, so that your mind is more engaged in a useful and aesthetic things. And also we need to burn, in order to be happy, we need to burn certain things in our life. What are the things we want to burn? Don't burn your house, don't burn your car. Instead, burn your anger, burn your jealousy, burn your hatred, burn your lust and desire, greed. And also we need to develop the contentment, santutti paramandana, because even you get gold coin rains, covered whole universe, whole earth, you can collect all these gold coins, you will not be happy, you want more. Our mind, our things are like that. We have to content what we have. Because we are not contented, we cannot be satisfiable, insatiable. It is very difficult to satisfy ourselves, so therefore we feel more unrelaxed, more unhappy. So in order to be happy, we need to content with what we have. And also we must use our money for the happiness of others, happiness of ourselves. Normally we become so selfish, we only think about ourselves. But in order to be happy, we need to develop unselfish practices in our life, kind of self-sacrifice for the happiness of others. So be generous, use your money for the benefit of yourself and benefit of others. So dear friends, we have a happy life. May the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha guide you and protect you. May the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha bless you.